How does an eyewear consultant become a catalyst in the optometry industry? Well, that's what we're talking about in this video training, and it's part one. Well, we're going to be profiling what is expected of you versus how do you go the extra mile in this particular video training. One of the first things that you need to be aware of as an eyewear consultant is that you provide consumers with exceptional service by understanding and assisting them with their needs. To go the extra mile, you need to listen to the consumer and be able to probe them for more information. Very important. When you understand them, you'll be better suited or better positioned to be able to efficiently assist them, right? Number two, you have to maintain records, schedule appointments, and ensure proper filing is done. Sounds basic. However, how do you go and exceed or go the extra mile in that regard? Learn consumer names and something specific about them that you never forget. Always include their name and surname as per their preference whenever they return to the practice. Greet consumers in a timely, professional, and engaging manner. Don't have this thing of someone walks into the practice and you just immediately get up and say, "Hi sir, how can we help you today?" No, why are you doing that? "Good day, sir. Welcome to our practice. It is so exciting to have you with us today. How may we be of assistance to you?" If you know the person, "Ntate Nkosi, Dumela, how are you today?" You see, you literally are engaging, you inviting, you are welcoming. That's how you go about exceeding expectations. Don't just have this monotonous way of doing things. What benefit is it not only to you, but to the practice? Next, prepare the consumer for their eye examination. Be swift and well prepared for when people arrive for their appointments. Have everything that needs to be done prior ready and completed. Don't have this approach of someone called on Monday to make an appointment for Wednesday. It's a person that has been coming to the practice for years. You already know that this person has a file on the system because you can see that this person has been here before. Why are you waiting for when they are arriving 30 minutes before their appointment to take out the file and have it ready? Why can't, on the phone, when that person makes the appointment, why can't you just say, "Sir, while I still have you on the line, I see here your details in front of me, says you're on this medical aid. Are you still using the same medical aid?" "Yes, I am still using the same medical aid." "Well, sir, if it's okay with you, we will confirm your optical benefits beforehand so that when you come for your appointment, everything is already done for you regarding the medical aid side of things. And so this is what will happen. If you guys have an online ordering system in place or an e-commerce website in place in your practice, and you have patient information forms that are already preloaded onto the website, a good thing to do is get consumers to complete those details on the line. And if you don't have that, but you've got the form in front of you, why are you not asking the consumer if any of their personal information has changed so that you can update them? So that when they come for their appointment, that administrative component has already been taken care of. The focus then becomes the eye examination. And let's say you can't do that. You can only do that when they arrive. Make sure that everything is preset, that you are expecting this person's file is in place, in order. Whatever that you can check beforehand, you've already done so. You have taken out the category placement card that we mentioned in our previous video trainings that profiles in terms of the history and the buying behavior or the purchasing behavior of that particular individual. It's preset that you are ready. That's how you go about preparing for the eye examination that the consumer is going to come for. That's how you go the extra mile. Next one, guide and assist consumers in frame and lens selection. That process that's involved, you need to be able to know how that process works, right? By using extensive knowledge of product lines and options or solutions to educate the patient. Have a good understanding of product knowledge. It's your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the practice to ensure that you are knowledgeable about the products that the practice sells, especially if you have been in the practice for a very long time. And what we say here in terms of how do you go the extra mile, Be confident when discussing features and benefits of products, and have a thorough understanding as to why the optometrist prescribed what they did. So this is now post them having selected the frames, and you are the one who's concluding on the order. You need to know why the optometrist prescribed that. What information is pertinent to you to reiterate back to the consumer in that regard. So that's how you go the extra mile. Not just limiting your information to what is written there, or communicating only when it comes to medical aid details or balances that patients have to be paying. No, educate them. And the only way you can educate them is when you are aware of the information that they need in order for them to be confident that the management solutions that have been prescribed for them or recommended for them are best suited to solve their visual problems. So that is not just the responsibility of the optometrist or dispenser. You as an eyewear consultant have a certain responsibility in terms of how then would you be in a position to go the extra mile. An important component here in terms of what is expected of you: converse with patients to analyze and assess patients' visual problems and needs. You need to know that, okay, these are the type of problems that consumers would have or present with when they come to the optometric practice. This is when a patient complains about this. These are the problem solutions that go with this problem. This problem, these are the solutions and management solutions that are recommended for a particular problem like that. It is your responsibility to know that is what is expected for you. How do you go the extra mile? Well, know the difference between consumer requirements and expectations as per the different buying generation that we have outlined in our previous video training, where you have to know that here are the consumer characteristics that define the patient, the customer, and the client. Then the next phase is, this is what method of communication is best suited to communicate solutions to Generation X, Generation Z, the baby boomers, for example, the millennials. This is how best to communicate with them. How best to communicate problems and solutions to high-incoming individuals, low-incoming individuals, middle-incoming individuals. Understand that consumers have different purchasing decisions that they make. So it's your responsibility to know how then to converse with different consumers regarding their visual needs and wants in relation to the consumer that you're communicating with. So you have to know the difference that exists between those different people. You have to maximize sales by using the company's sales concepts. So whatever sales approach that the company uses, you need to know that, right? But then how do you go the extra mile? You need to be able to identify and implement upgrade potentials regarding to eyewear and contact lenses. So this is the baseline information that you need to know. How often do you introduce upgrade solutions to the respective consumer that you're dealing with? And one of the things that I would recommend for you, have a notebook that you schedule that of all the people that you help. You write that day's date, then you pick consumer number one, whoever, person number one, and you write, came in for this. This was whatever I suggested or recommended for this individual. This is what they ended up spending, and this is what they ended up taking. And you keep track of that. At the end of each week or the end of each month, you are then in a position to sit down with your employer and say, look, these are the discussions that I've had with consumers over the last 4 weeks. And this is the good that has happened. This is what was average. This is the bad that has happened. How can we improve on my performance in this regard? If you are having those type of conversations with your employer, trust me, no employer is going to ignore that type of approach, because that helps you determine which areas are you improving in, which areas do you need more training in, which areas are you slacking in. And the team then is in a position to know that, wait a minute guys, the problem that you are having is similar to the problem that your colleague is also having. So I guess the team as a whole needs more training on product knowledge, because we are struggling with product knowledge, or we're struggling with conversion of people being upgraded from what they're currently wearing to what they actually need. That's a good tip. Hopefully you use it. Next, understand the company's cost of goods and retail fee schedules. Very, very important. How do you then go the extra mile? Have a thorough understanding that everything in the practice costs money, and so wastage is completely unacceptable in any way. You need to know what things cost, why they cost what they cost, and the impact of the, the costs involved to the overall business and revenue that the business has to have. Next, you need to complete lens and frame information, enter full information into the software that you're using, and ensure the manager signs off. That's one of the things that you need to make sure that any admin related stuff that you do with regards to orders, whether you are completing it online on the online ordering system that the laboratory operates on, you've got a responsibility of ensuring that everything is in order there. So take responsibility when you make a mistake regarding the capturing of data. So don't do something, then if you did it incorrectly, you don't own up to it. Say it. And if you're not sure about something, here's the thing. If you're not sure about something, ask. Ask for more training. Ask for more clarity. Ask for more assistance. And the sooner you ask questions right in the beginning, the more information you get given. Quickly go and implement it. Implement. The more you implement that which you have been informed and trained upon, the easier it becomes for you to be competent and excellent in that regard. And that's what's going to help you in your optometric journey as an eyewear consultant. Next, provide consumers with comprehensive explanations of their medical aid benefits. And one of the things that you can do to go the extra mile, be able to highlight the differences between what their medical aid will pay for, what their visual requirements are, what are the clinical benefits for the management solutions versus what they can afford, how to overcome financial challenges when making a final purchasing decision for the consumer. So always know that, okay, this product solves this problem. This is the visual experience that a person will have with this management solution that has been recommended for them. If they go with what you're recommending, this is what they will be gaining. If they don't go with what has been recommended, this is what will be the loss that they will experience. Next, understand that if you always start with premium products, it's easier than to work your way back. So even if the person insists that they cannot afford that which you recommend and you work your way down, you then are in a position when you're working your way from the premium product to the intermediate to the basic product that has been recommended based on now you're working on affordability. You have to be in a position where you are discussing implications that a particular product will have on the consumer's visual experience without making them feel that, well, I can't afford it, so you're forcing me to get something that I cannot afford. You want to ensure that they understand that, wait a minute, next time I come, I will be coming with an awareness that last time I was here, I got what could help me in this regard, but I needed something that will help me more than what I got at the last time. So, but you have it, and you're highlighting those in your notebook, that this is what I discussed with the patient, and this is why we ended up going with this option as opposed to that option, because based on the fact that the medical aid was not covering that, and the patient was not willing to pay the extra balance. So this was the best that we could do. You need to understand that process. Next, educate consumers on the adaptation of new lenses or new prescriptions and how to take care of their lenses, how to take care of their frames. A lot of practices don't educate consumers with regards to that. Very important that you do. And so you must be confident and specific when discussing the adaptation and time frames of single vision, bifocals, multifocals, contact lenses, cleaning schedules, follow-up schedules. You need to have an awareness of how those different time frames and schedules and approaches work with the respective product that you're recommending or that the person has purchased. It's your job. That's how you go the extra mile. Next, promise accurate delivery and turnaround times meeting the consumer's needs, right? Immediately notify the consumer on any delays and what the remedy solution would be. Never wait for a consumer to get in touch with the practice. You make the first contact. And so learn to get in touch with the consumer before they contact you. Most importantly, ensure you have a solution to the problems you discuss with them. That's how you go the extra mile. Next, understand all promotions, specials, deals that are running at any given point in time in the practice. Understand, so going the extra mile, you need to understand what the financial benefits are when a promotion runs and what are the specific targets the owner wants the team to achieve during that time. Then set your own goals in relation to the objectives of the practice that you want to achieve. So if this is the practice goal, you need to set yourself apart to say, okay, The practice needs to achieve this, but me as an individual, this is what I'm targeting in terms of my contribution to the overall target that has been set by the practice. That's how you win. That's how you start closing those deals that a lot of your team members are not going to be closing. Next, conduct after-service care calls on a daily basis to the consumers who have just received the eyewear recently. How do you go the extra mile? Develop your own database of consumers you follow up on and establish relationships with them professionally for when they are to return next time. Next, notify and re-notify consumers when eyeglasses are complete for dispensing. Never treat this as a by-the-way task. Very, very important. You need to make sure that from the time a person comes in to have their eyes examined to the time they leave, everything, to the time they even come and collect their glasses, that entire experience, whether it's a 2-week thing, a 3-week thing, whatever long it takes from start to finish, you want to make sure that it is a memorable, impactful experience, worthwhile experience that the consumer experiences, especially when they're dealing with you. And you'll be surprised how many times people will come back and give good reviews and recommendations to the boss as a result of the attitude and how they experienced working with you. And they'll even ask, where is so-and-so that helped me last time? You know how amazing that is when someone comes to the practice because of how you treated them or the experience that they received from you because of how you treated them. Very, very important. Next, fit and adjust completed eyewear for consumers, right? So you need to learn how to become efficient in this and always practice on old frames and lenses whenever there are quiet times in the practice throughout the day or when your work is complete that is expected of you. I would play around with broken frames. I will learn how to adjust the screw on certain things. I will learn how to meddle with a frame and make it as if it's broken, fix it. I will play around with as much product as I possibly can that is old so that my skills in assisting consumers when they come in I become more efficient. My skills are at the level at which I will not make consumers wait for too long. And whenever I'm busy with something, I will ask the senior people to say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or why is this like this? Why is it when I'm heating why shouldn't I heat a metal frame? Why should I do this? Why should I do? And I will play around with those type of products so that I can become more competent. Next, accurately process consumer payment transactions. How do you go the extra mile? Know your product pricing quotations as if it's a live source for the practice. Next, clean and merchandise displays on a daily basis. Displaying effective merchandising at all times is very, very important. How do you go the extra mile? Take initiative and don't wait to be asked to do so. Next, help maintain the attractive appearance of the practice. And so your attitude determines the atmosphere of the practice. When you are full of fire and passion in what you do, the practice will be hot and fun to be in. It will be a great working environment because of the energy that you carry yourself. Be knowledgeable in the different lens designs and frame manufacturers and styles. And how do you go the extra mile? Be able to reiterate to the management recommendations outlined by the optometrist by highlighting key features and benefits in relation to the consumer's visual needs and lifestyle demands. That's your responsibility as an eyewear consultant. And lastly, be able to accurately do stock taking. Have an understanding as to why this is important to the health of the business. Never have a negative attitude towards this component because it happens once a month. So don't just have this, why should we do this? It's an important component of the practice that has a specific time that is scheduled. So you already know that in advance. Don't have a negative attitude when it comes to that. And so that's basically it. How do you go the extra mile as an eyewear consultant in relation to what is expected of you? And that helps you in your journey in becoming a catalyst.